Hello, this is Tara of AlchemyThree. I wanted to create a little something for everyone who's struggling to create content. It's a difficulty that we all face as business owners and content generators, and really anyone who's trying to attract visitors to a website. So what I thought I would do is to create a content series to help you work through these issues and create a plan step by step, easily and effectively. Okay, so what the series is going to do is it's going to give you a nice 6-month plan to create a calendar that provides a big picture strategy for consistent, stress-free planning. I'm going to give you tips for keyword and hashtag research. I'm going to show you how to create graphics and find compelling and shareable content for social media. And I'm also going to show you how to schedule these posts months in advance. That gives you a bit more wiggle room to add in off the cuff kind of stuff that maybe is trending, and you can, be a bit more spontaneous while these other things are running in the background. So what I want to concentrate on today is very simple and straightforward. This is just to get the wheels turning and kind of to kick off this process. So this is the 30,000 foot view content planning stage. So the idea is to look at everything in a broad scope, create a nice brain dump, if you will, of things that are swirling around in your brain, get everything down on paper, and then you can start to edit and fine tune the messaging that you would like to provide and start integrating on your website so that you can start to reach the people, the kinds of people that you want to speak to and do work for, and attract the clients that you can do the best kind of work for. So let's start with a series of very simple questions. This is going to be a very fast video. I will have a worksheet available for download so that you can enter some of these answers to the questions on your own, and then we can kind of work from there. So question number 1 is to ask yourself, what do I find myself answering all the time? So as a business owner, you are likely answering a lot of the same questions when you encounter someone for the first time, if they're curious as to the kinds of services you provide and the problems that you solve. So think about those frequently asked questions, otherwise known as FAQs. And even when you create this list, pro tip, this might be a really nice piece that you could add to your website as well. You could create a page with FAQs, and then that's added content to your site and extra information for your audience. So that's question number 1. Number 2, what do I want to be known for, or we, if you have a team? Think about your business philosophy. Think about what you're really, really good at, and what would you like to be known for specifically. So let me give you a quick example. Say you have a web design company and you're really good at providing web care maintenance services. So you create these websites, and then you have a fantastic process that provides continual ongoing support to your clients, right? So maybe that's something that you want to bring front and center, you want to talk about a lot within your content, and you want to be educating potential clients. That's just one example. What I've learned is that you really want to say, you want to be known for something, you want to have become an authority. And that's just food for thought, right? Because we're all kind of trying to do a lot of the same things and be everything to everyone, but it doesn't really work out that way. Then you're more of a commodity as opposed to a product that you're providing, or a true solution to a problem. So you really want to try to differentiate yourself and figure out what you want to be known for. And again, you want to repeat what you want to be known for to different people as opposed to lots of different things to the same people. So think about that for a second. That was sort of an aha moment that I had. Okay, moving along, what kind of work do you want to do more of? What kinds of clients would you like more of? Think of your picture perfect client that you would love to clone, right? What kinds of qualities do they have, and what are they potentially searching for? What are their problems, and how do you solve those problems? And also think about the amount of work that you're putting into these products and the profit margins, right? So what I'm trying to think about right now within my own business is what kind of work could we do more of? We have a solid process behind those things. The profit margins are solid and it's scalable, right? So that's an example of something you might want to be focusing on and creating content for. You also want to think about keywords as well, and the kinds of circles you want to get to know a bit better, and networking opportunities. So those are also great things to be thinking about in terms of keywords and introductions you're looking for. If you aren't really concentrating on profit margins and the amount of work that you're putting in, perhaps there are kinds of work that you're particularly passionate about. Maybe the education space, maybe the nonprofit space. This is where you want to do a lot of research and maybe start making a list of keywords that you could create content around. You also want to be thinking about how you can make these topics as helpful and actionable as possible. So in other words, consider the form that this content will take. Downloadable worksheets, creating videos like this, graphics, infographics, making them as simple and bulleted out as possible. So how do people consume that content? And how can you make something that is immediately actionable and helpful, which then positions you as a person of authority in that space? People will begin to listen, trust you, and respect you, and will, that consistency will put you on their radar. And then you also want to think about what's the most fun for you, right? If you're the one doing the actual writing, what do you love to write about? For me personally, my business focuses quite a bit on female business owners, right? And nonprofits as well. And so I'm also very interested in, since I am a mom, I'm interested in moms who are running their own business and helping women sort of realize their own power and influence, and how to speak to those things, and speaking about the mental load and feminism and that kind of stuff. It's stuff that I'm really passionate about, and so I will kind of weave that into our overall content strategy. So in addition to answering these questions, this is going to create a really nice foundation for, and we'll get the wheels turning around getting that content kind of blocked out within your calendar. And then we can begin creating this content. But don't get worked up about where this is going to lead. Just fill out these questions. I'm going to continue this series, and I will post more of these videos in the coming weeks to kind of help you along. I'm here if you have any questions. I'm also available to workshop with you to figure out what kinds of topics are going to work best for you and your business and your team. One more thing you can be working on is creating a new Google Calendar for holidays, events, and topics that are of the most interest to you, your business, and your audience. So let's take a look at what I've done, and maybe you can do something similar. So let's take a peek at my Google Calendar. So here you can see my Google Calendar. AlchemyThree Holidays and Events is what it's called at the moment. I have had my team working with me on this to kind of look for international days and weeks and months with various themes that we care about. So obviously this one, this is the September calendar, 9/11, right? That's a major faux pas if I post something to social channels that are goofy, silly, lighthearted, when it is in fact 9/11 Remembrance Day. That's something that we want to be absolutely certain that we aren't stepping on the toes of this very special day, and that we're being appropriate and we are recognizing that day in a respectful way. International Literacy Day, I don't know about National Grandparents Day. We're kind of working through these things right now, but Google Calendar is great because you can kind of turn these things on and off, right? I have my personal stuff, which is kind of crazy, business, birthdays, all of those kinds of things. But I can just turn this on and off, and I can kind of sift through International Talk Like a Pirate Day. That's a great example of something we might want to do a silly post about on social media. You know, it just depends on your business. It depends on the tone of the voice. Depends on what you want to be speaking to and about that's relevant to your audience. You know, spin up a brand new Google Calendar, play around with it, and use this as a tool for planning out and getting a nice broad overview of what's incoming. And it could also be inspiring some ideas for some of those incoming posts, right? Okay, so that is all that I have for you right now. Thank you for tuning in. Please give us a like or follow on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. I'm also on LinkedIn. Send us a shout out. I hope this is helpful. Please stay tuned, and we will keep chugging along and help you to make some good progress with your content. Bye.